Hey guys, so I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about the Interdictor and some different things that you can do with it, because it seems to be the one ship that's recently come out that some people have some questions about. Specifically, why would you ever want to not use the Suppression Refit with its two experimental upgrades as opposed to the Combat Refit? You know, it's a little more expensive, 93 points. It's already way more expensive than a Victory, and so why would I want to do that? So the first thing I want to talk about is using the suppression refit. All right, you've got four different choices, right? We've got our targeting scrambler, we've got the grab shift reroute, the G8 experimental projector, and the G7 grab well projector. So most of these are kind of self-explanatory. The G8 experimental projector, is used to slow down ships. You can use this in conjunction with Phylons or Constantine or something like that, and so that works well. But it works especially well with the Gravwell projector. So these two work well together. So this would be perfect for the suppression refit. Because you can basically control where they're going to start out and then control them even more once they get into range of you, even locking down a ship. Okay, so that's good. Now the grab shift reroute, this one is specific. This one seems like it's specifically for certain objectives, or if somebody sets up a station, you can kind of push the debris. You can pull the station closer to you, push the debris, block them from getting to the station. Or if like maybe the minefields objective, or any of the objectives that deal with a station, this one's really good for certain objectives. So this is an insurance policy, and it's also only two. So this is an important one. Also is targeting scrambler. I think these two work best when paired together, but if you wanted to go with the combat refit that only has one, maybe you wouldn't want both of these. Maybe you would want one of the other two because they seem to work better standalone. Okay, so targeting scrambler is one of my favorites, and it's my favorite one to have if I only have one. And what it is it's just close range defense, and it's not just for you, it's for any of your ships that are close by, and you can use it twice if you pair it with the Interdictor title. Okay, but of course now it works best if you have more than 3 activations, because you need a ship to activate to ready this one to be able to do it again. So if you're going up against a 6 small ship list, then this might not be as good. And it kind of depends. And if you only have 3, so if you can get 4 ships or more, then this is definitely going to work out really good for you, and you'll probably be able to use it twice per time. And the thing that's so great about the targeting scrambler here is that it specifically works. It specifically works at close range after they've modified all their dice. So if you've spent your Screed to change a die to a black die to a crit hit, if you spent Vader to re-roll some dice, if you have spent your target turbo laser reroute circuits to already modify dice, it's after all that. Now I can spend this to force you to re-roll your 4 best dice. So any double hits, I'm going to make you roll. If you only have 1 crit, I might make you roll that crit. Reroll that crit if everything's going to get through. Although, and it doesn't just have to be against me; it can be against other ships, and so that's great. If you're going to fly an Interdictor with some ships that are going to be otherwise weak, maybe a couple of Raiders, or even maybe it is good defense against your Demolisher. This is great when paired with a Demolisher, because it's the Demolisher wants to get in close to fire its black dice, or any gladiator really does. But that leaves it vulnerable, so this can defend it if you keep them kind of close together. So awesome card to put if you're going with only the combat refit, right? Now the combat refit is not that bad. It's definitely way more expensive. I mean, your cheapest Vic is 73, so you're already adding 20 extra points. But now you've got actually better side arcs than a Vic 2, right? You get an extra blue dice on the side arcs. The side arcs are a little wider. A little bit wider, so slightly more of that. You're missing. You got 2 less dice on the front arc, okay, but you got 1 more die on the back. So you actually have more dice all around. It's just more well-rounded, and much better anti-squadron, right? You're missing a brace there, but you have more tokens altogether. So you're not going to get regular critical hits. So that's also good. You don't have the turbo laser option, but here's what we do have. We have an engineering value of 5. Now, you're probably already aware that the Interdictor has an engineering value of 5, but what you may not realize is some ways that you can make that work to even better advantage, right? So it's sick. First off, Wolf Yularen. Okay, great card. You take an engineering value first or second turn, keep that token, and just keep using him every turn. If you start taking damage, you can just drive this guy right in the middle of their fleet and make it full advantage of that being well-rounded. You can shoot anywhere. And Wolf Yularen, you can, with your engineering token, is going to give you 3 on top of half this rounded up. 3 plus that is 8. You're getting 4 shields back each turn. Okay, so I mean, it's just awesome. This is incredibly tanky with your 9 hull. In addition, you can put engine techs on here. Engine techs. Oh my gosh, and you can use that with Wolf Yularen. So if you get a nav to like basically first turn nav, second turn engineering while you're creeping up, now you've got a fairly decent ship that's going to shoot a good amount of dice, and you can if you double arc, you're getting 8 dice, right? Or I mean, you put yourself right in the middle. You don't have to, you don't have to just stay on the outskirts. I mean, use all those blue dice, fly right into them. You can do that easier with engine techs. But if you've got a nav token and an engineering token, use Wolf for the nav token every turn until you actually take some damage. Then you can get rid of the nav token and then start using it. Then start using the engineering token every turn. So combat refit is actually not that bad at all. You have great anti-squadron dice. You've got great dice for the approach. Because honestly, 2 red is not that bad for an approach. You have great defense for everybody else as well as yourself. This actually makes a really good flagship. It's probably tankier than an Imperial Star Destroyer if you've got Wolf on there and you're getting 4 shields back every turn. And also, by the way, when somebody attacks you, if they get close enough to actually do some real damage, you can, use this to even make yourself more tankier. So, toss on a targeting scrambler into your 1 slot, engine techs, and then Wolf Yularen, the Interdictor title. Well, now you've got an incredibly maneuverable, and more maneuverable than the ISD, possibly more tanky than the ISD. And also can support other ships because you also gave it the Interdictor title. So in this, you can even it's even defensible with this against squadrons. So while the Suppression Refit's still a good ship by all means, and it still has more dice than a victory. Granted, I'll take the red dice over that many blue. And you can even add more dice if you wanted to, put even more upgrades on there. But then you're going to make it really expensive. But this is just some things. I really like Wolf and engine techs on the combat refit. It makes it really maneuverable, really tanky, and it's still, it can potentially throw out more dice than a victory. So that kind of justifies the cost to me. But I love the targeting scrambler paired with the Interdictor title. It'll also help keep your flotillas alive if you wanted to do that. So just some interesting stuff that I noticed after playtesting the Interdictors a little bit more. I've tried both ships. I originally thought this one was going to be garbage, but is actually my favorite Interdictor now. So that has been a closer look at the Interdictor and why you might want to use the combat refit. So if you like this video, please feel free to subscribe for some more. I'll be making new videos all the time, and as always, like and leave a comment and all that good stuff. Thank you so much. Have a great day.